Nicholas, Josephine, love you now and forever, for better, for worse. I didn't find out anything. I didn't feel it. I didn't have a sort of telepathic connection. Hey, Nicholas died, something terrible is happening. But when he left that day, I remember it had sort of imprint in my mind how he walked out of the door through the light outside, and it was dark in the hallway. I could see him still, the shirt he wore, how his posture, everything. I had said to him, I kissed him goodbye and said to him, take good care of yourself and come back to me safely. And I never say these things, never.
Whenever you're ready, you can start.
Oh my God, yes. Well, I thought I ought to catch Tom before he went away. I'm still in my dressing gown because it's only midday, so this is normal for me. I get up very slowly and chant and learn a poem, and so my day hasn't really properly begun.
I don't know where to start with Nicholas. He is just the most unusual person you can imagine. He was heavily immersed in the alternative scene.
In the future, we're all going to be resurrected, whether we like it or not. And if they do, they must be sure to resurrect me with all my imperfections. Wouldn't like to miss out on those. Things like anxiety, insecurity, desire to please, all the things that make me me.
It was love at first sight, or rather, whatever it is, infatuation. We got to know each other afterwards. We got married in St. John's Wood in this church, St. Mark's Church, in 1991. It was just so mind-blowingly exciting. Yeah, anyway, it was good. So happy. But he was annoying anyway. He said in his speech afterwards that I had asked him one morning, why do you want to marry me?
Quite, harmlessly, because I thought you wanted me to. And she beat me up physically for being a wimp.
I had hit him. That's what he told at the wedding party. But anyway. It's Nicholas and me in Greece, in the water. We bought this house in 1990. Yeah, never looked back. Nicholas was working from home, running all these charities, the Institute for Social Inventions, and Apprentice Master Alliance, and so many other projects. And he developed many more after we settled here. And one of them that we did together, because we wanted to work on a project together, was the Natural Death Center.
A lot of people would like to die at home, and you had to learn such a lot so quickly. So Josephine and I set up the Natural Death Center, which has been quite useful.
We thought there should be a center where you can go and educate yourself about death before anybody is ill or dying, and how to help someone dying at home, because you need a lot of information to do it. A lot of people say they want to do it, and very few people can do that. So, yeah, so that was a great time. So I could talk to Nicholas about these ideas, and he said, let's set up the Natural Death Center, like a natural birth center, And so that's what we did.
Firstly, helping people prepare for death in a holistic way that looks at the physical side, the emotional side, the spiritual side, and doesn't treat any of them in isolation. And secondly, breaking some of the taboos surrounding the discussion of death. And thirdly, the aspect of control, helping the average family take as much control as they want of the process of dying, to take it back away from the big institutions, and somehow, for instance, by helping making it easier for people to die at home. It is very difficult to get a coffin if you just want a one-off, as it were.
He went to see his mum for tea in the country, and so he went there by train and then walked from the station to her house. But on the way home, he was going to walk back to the station, and she said to him, "Let me give you a lift, because then I can spend some more time with you." But as she gave him a lift, they crashed, so he died on the spot, really. Before we buried Nicholas, on the day before the funeral, we brought his body home, and we had his coffin here in front of the fireplace, and had all my friends and family sitting around, and we just did a meditation, and then we spoke about what happened on the day he died and what happened since then, because there are many events we sort of spontaneously developed as part of the coping with that he was dead, you know. He was buried in a bamboo woven coffin. We had a tree, an apple tree, but it died. He always said he wanted to have an apple tree planted on his grave, so. And I sometimes think, what would he say? What would he think? You know? And I still remember him very visually, very much, and not as often as I used to do, but I can. It's like remembering a place that you know well. You can, in your mind, go there. You mightn't go there very often, but you can if you want to. Last year, he got posthumously the Natural Death Centre, and me. We got a Lifetime Achievements Award for the Natural Death Centre. And also last year was 25 years of the Natural Death Centre, and so there was a lot about remembering how we started and a lot of what Nicholas did, and he changed many lives, he influenced many lives, so.
I like to envisage dying as sort of diving up out of my body with a sort of energy coming up from my spine, out the top of my head, diving out of my body into a sort of swimming pool of light, just sort of hanging up there, I suppose. That's how I envisage it, and I just hope it turns out that way.
Without him, there wouldn't have been the Natural Death Centre, there wouldn't have been the Befriending Network. I may never have learned to go to public speaking, because he pushed me into this, He was very comfortable with the media. I was always very uncomfortable with the media. But now I feel I've stepped a little bit into that direction, and I feel I took on a bit, not that I've become like him, but I took on some of those things in my own way that were not part of my world had I not met him. So I feel you can never take the Nicholas out of me anymore.